Welcome back to another lecture, and in this lecture we're talking about the IPA, or the International Phonetic Alphabet. And again, I'm your host Keith Brooks, and we're going to talk in this lecture about the history, charts, and the sounds of the IPA. The International Phonetic Alphabet was created by the International Phonetic Association in 1888 by Paul Passy, and the intention was actually to create one writing system internationally for teaching purposes. And in this way, all languages could be unified and spoken as one. And to do this, they created special symbols or letters to show the articulation of each particular sound. Over the last 100 years, it's had a number of revisions. One of the sound contrasts that you can understand is minimal pairs, and this actually happens when students actually talk. A minimal pair consists of two words that differ from each other by one sound, like pit, bit, beat, bead, boat, and boot. And basically, the one sound is the sound that is an error by most speakers. And if you understand this, you're able to fix this error. When a sound is utilized in several languages, the same symbol can be used. And this applies to similar sounds, like in French, the E sound. Giant, or English B, or the Korean kimchi. You can use the same symbol to show the same sound, but this doesn't always work. In assigning values to the Roman letters, the international language should be used. The vowel sound in English for the word B is transcribed with the symbol I with a colon, not an E, or in Korean, an O capital I, which is the Korean sound for the E. What you want to remember is don't use the letters of another language to teach pronunciation, because in some countries this may not be okay and the cultures will look down upon this. And Korean is one of those languages. If I was to show the E sound as the circle I, many Koreans would get upset because it's not a word. Or if I were to say, when you speak, you say beach. So B-E-A-C-H, B-E, B-E-ch, three sounds. They're going to say beachy because in Korean, the long E sound comes after the CH or the J sound. So they'll say orangey, beachy, H-chi, kimchi. So when you're trying to explain to them not to do that, or you're trying to use the Korean letters, they're going to say that you're wrong and it's going to cause confusion and animosity. So try not to use the letters of the same country to show pronunciation. The IPA is based upon phonetics. So phonetics is the study of speech sounds. It consists of three main subfields: articulatory phonetics, and these are how the sounds are produced: the tongue, lips, vocal cords, etc. The acoustic phonetics is how the sounds are transmitted, and perceptual phonetics is that's how they're understood. And then you'll have problems with pronunciation because some letters represent more than one sound. The C can be a C or a K. A G can be a G or a J. And some letters have no sound at all, like the silent E. And then you have blends, like the PH from phonetics become an F sound. And some letters represent two or more sounds together, like U's and tax. These sounds are actually blended. And some are actually misrepresented by different letters combinations because they're foreign letters that have been added into the English language as the SH sound. So why do you need to study the chart? When you are teaching and students make mistakes in their pronunciation, or you're taking the praxis test, you need to know exactly what the sound they made, how to represent it, and how to fix it. So when you listen to a speaker, they make an error, you can show them either by showing them the chart or the sound they're making, or the tongue and lip position, which will fix that problem. In this example, I put down the word seat. If you notice, the first one says sheet, while the second group of letters says seat. So they actually kind of look alike, but they actually are pronounced differently. The chart actually has 44 sounds. It's divided into three categories: consonants, vowels, and diphthongs. And you need to know the places and manner of articulation of each sound. And this is the chart that you will need to get in order to teach or take a praxis test on this. There's another one, and this actually shows you the actual places of articulation and the manner of articulation for each particular sound. As you can tell, the consonant sounds are pretty basic. P, pat, G, guard, V, van, mal. The only one that's kind of different is the ng sound, where you have an N with a little bit of a curve on the bottom of it. Sap, zip, same thing. However, when you have the th sound, it's actually different. When you say think, you put your tongue between your teeth and you actually pull it back while you blow an air out. Think. And then there's this, which is more of a vibrating sound. Then you got vision, shine, touch, judge. And these are sounds that you really need to know when you take the practice test or help students with their reading and writing and error correction. And these are some of the other sounds that you really will need to know. The I sound and E sound, an I with a colon. Put is more of the omega sign. Open. And about was the schwa. The schwa here, the word about, is the most common sound in the English language. Diphthongs are two-part vowels. They count as a single sound because the two vowels are articulated together. Example are bite, I, boy, oi, bait, ai. And these are the phonetic spellings for those sounds. And then, like I said, the place of articulation. These are the sound and the places of articulation for each particular sound. And the manner of articulation, these are the sounds in the manner of articulation. I briefly went over these in the pronunciation lectures, and I showed you actually where the sounds come from. So thank you, and I hope you understand the chart and the sounds. Connect the sounds to the symbols and utilize them for error correction. Please study these because when you are teaching, you can show the students how to write and how to read these, which will help them with their pronunciation. Thank you very much.